Nobody asks me what I used to do. They ask me what I do. Hasn't it? They always have. For a long time, I assumed that was manners, or luck, or the fact that I still turn up in places. It's neither manners nor luck. It's grammar. People pick attention to you, and they pick it by watching whether you're still moving. I am still moving, so that question stays in the present. But I spent 40 years watching what happens to once you stop. It happens to everyone eventually, and it never announces itself. People stop asking you what you are working on. They start asking you what you did. They stop asking where you're going. They start asking where you have been. The careers you've had, the places you've traveled, the person you used to be. Without anyone taking a vote, the world quietly moves you into the past tense. And here's what makes it so dangerous. It arrives disguised as kindness. No one says you are finished. They say you have earned your rest. They say you have paid your dues. They say you have nothing left to prove. They stop bringing you into difficult conversations because they think you've done enough. They stop expecting you to take a risk, to change direction, to learn something demanding, or to start over at the bottom of something new. They will tell you this is respect. That's not respect. It's removal. Perform gently with a warm hand on your shoulder, because there's a massive distance between having nothing left to prove and having nothing left to become. Those have never been the same thing. What happens next is that people stop building a life and start giving tours of the one that used to have. Here's a career. Here's a photograph. Here's the house we raised the children in. Here's a person I was before the years started accumulating. All of it is real. All of it is earned. And the tour still only goes in one direction. Backward. The real damage isn't that other people start speaking about you in the past. The real damage is when you start agreeing with them. I used to be strong. I used to travel. I used to write. I used to play. I used to care. Listen to yourself when used to start hijacking your sentences. Sometimes it names an honest loss, and you should say it plainly. But most of the time, it's surrender wearing the costume of a fact. I've watched where that decision goes, and it's never dramatic. Nothing collapses on a Tuesday. A person stops reaching, they stop preparing, they stop asking anything of their mind or their nerve. And eventually, the body works out that nothing is being asked of it anymore. And it answers accordingly. The body has been listening to the decision the entire time. And the body keeps score. None of this is an argument against age. The body changes. Time has consequences. And anyone telling you otherwise is selling you something. But a long life is not a finished life. Age is not completion. Nobody handed you a diploma saying the work is done. So here's the part where I'm supposed to tell you what you're allowed to do. I won't. Allowed means someone else is holding the permission slip. And we've already established who that someone is. You do not need their signature. You changed your mind at 70. You became a total beginner again in front of people who will watch you be terrible at it. You get intensely, inconveniently interested in something nobody around you has understand. You make plans that stretch way past what anyone envisioned for you. You stay inconveniently alive. So the question never was what you did. The question is, what are you building now? Building something that is larger next year than it is today because you stayed on the job. What still calls you forward? What takes your absolute concentration? What are you doing badly right now because you haven't earned the right to do it well? It doesn't have to be grand. A piece of music you can't play, a garden that has to be planted before anything can grow, a skill that humbles you, a problem sitting unsolved on your desk. Something unfinished keeps you facing forward. That's the mechanism. There's nothing more complicated to it than that. You are still here, and while you are still here, you own the present. So do something to start, something to repair, something to practice, something to become. Use it. Don't narrate it. You're not the museum guide of your own existence. Stay under construction.